Welcome to Legion Builds, where I guide you on how to bring your favorite fictional characters into Dungeons & Dragons. This video and all my content is made possible by my Patreon supporters, and it's dedicated to every one of you who subscribes to my channel. I wouldn't do any of this without you guys. Seriously, as long as there's one of you that likes this, I'm going to keep doing this, so thank you. Join the Legion today to help decide next week's new character. We're having another Soul Eater showdown. It's Maka versus Free. Today we're bringing in the Dark Messiah of the Darkstalkers series, Jedah Dohma. Born over 6,000 years ago, Jedah is one of the most powerful beings of Makai, the realm of demons. Jedah's sole concern is the future of Makai and its demon population, seeing only himself as its true ruler and protector. Due to his views, Jedah is willing to take any risk for his home, including destroying himself and Makai, remaking it in his own image. Jedah is a strange creature, as he may look like a being of flesh and blood, but he's technically not. He's just simply blood. No organs or bones, just blood. Not sure how that works, but okay. With absolute control over his blood, Jedah can create weapons such as scythes, even buzzsaws, attack at range, and controlling the blood of others by entering their body and destroying them from within. If this wasn't scary enough, Jedah is a Shinigami and can feed on the power of death itself. Harnessing the power of death, Jedah has pushed the boundaries of reality itself and gained many abilities, such as the power to cross dimensions. Needless to say, he's pretty badass and has total conviction that his plan is right and just, which means he can be an extremely dangerous big bad. For today's build, we'll be using the Player's Handbook, Xanathar's Guide to Everything, and Monsters of the Multiverse. We're using standard point array to make things easy for you, and we are multi-classing, but they use the same stat minimum, so this is going to be easy. We'll start things off with Con at 15. You don't actually have any muscle or organs, your very existence is just physical willpower, so I'm going to say you got good con. Charisma will follow with 14. Once more, your body and power is sheer willpower and emotions. To hammer that point home, your entire body was destroyed and you rebuilt yourself because you wanted to. Dex comes in at 13. You are fast and nimble, but you're the boss of a fighting game, so that is actually pretty low. Standard point array, what can I say? Intelligence will fly in with a 12. You've spent a long time preparing your plan to conquer, save Makai, and you only really fail because of one thing. Speaking of that one thing, strength is going to be low with a 10 and we're dumping wisdom. Your strength is pretty decent in the game, but if I were to talk about why your wisdom is so low, I'm going to need another 20 minutes to explain your insane plans. Seriously, I wasn't joking when I said you were willing to destroy yourself to win. You did that, and there's a real chance you're insane now because of it. Jedah is a demon, but is also a being made completely out of blood that is powered by death. If you've watched my Ichigo and Death the Kid videos, you know I like Shinigamis. And what's the best lineage for them? ASMR, found in the Monsters of the Multiverse. Place +2 into Charisma and +1 into Con. Dark Vision lets you see in dim light as if it's normal, and Darkness as if it's dim light out to 60 feet. Celestial Resistance grants you resistance to necrotic and radiant damage. Light Bearer gives you the light cantrip for some reason. This makes sense for 2 out of the 3 ASMRs, though not you. For background, we're actually going to use an actual background. Yeah, weird, huh? Oh yeah, we're still changing the skills. Take the background Noble and give yourself a Servant. If the DM allows it, I would. And take the skills Persuasion and Deception. Okay, let's make a Shinigami. Oh, if you don't know what a Shinigami is, it's Japanese for Death God. There's a reason I just explained that. Here it is. Level 1 Sorcerers start off with 2 skills. Take Arcana and Religion. More importantly, you start off with a power source, better known as a Sorcerer's Origin. Divine Soul found in Xanathars will help us create a Death God. Divine Magic grants you access to both the Sorcerer and Cleric spell list and grants you a free spell. Inflict Wounds is a melee spell attack that deals 3d10 necrotic damage, and you can upcast this spell to deal more damage. Let's say you grow your fingernails and slash at your enemies. Sorry, I really don't like that move. Darkstalkers is a weird series, but that one is just too weird for me. Favored by the Gods improves your rolls. When you fail a saving throw or an attack, you can add 2d4 to the roll once per short or long rest. Spell casting grants you spells, starting off with 4 cantrips and 2 first level spells. For these spells, Acid Splash fires blood at a creature or 2 standing next to each other out to 60 feet and forces a dex save, dealing 1d6 acid damage on a hit. Toll the Dead targets one creature within 60 feet of you and forces a wisdom save. Should they fail, they take 1d8 necrotic damage or 1d12 necrotic damage if they are not at full HP. Sword Burst lashes out at everyone within 5 feet of you and forces a dex save, dealing 1d6 force damage on a failure. Chill Touch fires a blast of necrotic energy at a creature within 120 feet and deals 1d8 necrotic damage on a hit and keeps them from regaining hit points till the start of your next turn. Shield adds +5 to your AC as a reaction and automatically stops magic missile. Cure Wounds heals 1d8 plus your charisma modifier to anyone you touch, including yourself. Okay, need more death. Level 1 Warlocks start off with an otherworldly patron. Sticking with the death motif, we're going with Hexblade, found in Xanathars. Hexblade's curse allows you to curse a creature within 30 feet of you with a bonus action. For 1 minute or until the target dies or you are incapacitated, you gain several benefits when fighting them. Your attacks against them gain bonus damage equal to your proficiency bonus, you crit with attacks against them on 19 or 20, and when they die, you regain HP equal to your Warlock level plus charisma modifier. You can curse a target once per short or long rest. Hex Warrior grants you proficiency in all martial weapons, medium armor, and shields. You can also bond with a weapon that lacks the two-handed property after a long rest, and you will be able to use your charisma modifier for attacks and damage. This will work great later, trust me. In the game, you tend to wield a blood scythe, but those aren't in D&D. May I suggest retooling a battle axe for simplicity, slashing damage, and it can be wielded with 1 or 2 hands. Up to you. Pact Magic makes you a kind of spellcaster. Normally, when multi-classing spellcasters, you must do some math to figure out how many spell slots you get, but Warlocks cheat. You now have both your Sorcerer spell slots and your special Warlock spell slots. Your Warlock spell slots will be fewer, but will be upgraded to higher levels over time, meaning they will be stronger. You can also cast your Sorcerer spells with your Warlock spell slots and vice versa. Starting out, you get 2 cantrips and 2 first level spells. For your spells, Eldritch Blast launches a buzzsaw at an enemy within 120 feet and dealing 1d10 force damage on a hit. Cause Fear awakens the dread within a target that is within 60 feet of you. Forcing a wisdom save, they become frightened of you while you maintain the spell for 1 minute. At the end of each of their turns, they may retake the save. Arms of Hadar unleashes tendrils of blood out to 10 feet from you in all directions and forces a strength save against creatures in that range, dealing 2d6 necrotic damage should they fail and stopping them from taking reactions until their next turn. You get 1 more cantrip, but sorcerers give us all the ones we need, so have fun choosing. Level 2 Warlocks receive Eldritch Invocations. These are special features that augment your spells or grant new ones. For your invocations, Armor of Shadows gives the spell Mage Armor that you can cast without a spell slot or components. Mage Armor gives you an AC of 13 plus Dex for 8 hours. You can get 1 more, but I would like to replace that next level, so don't worry about it. For your new spell, Wrathful Smite enchants your weapon with a bonus action for 1 minute while you maintain the spell. The next attack you make with your weapon will deal an extra 1d6 psychic damage and force a wisdom save. If they fail, they are frightened of you while the spell is active and must use their action to make a wisdom save to end the spell. Your character level 3 now, which awakens your Celestial Revelation for your lineage. Now with a bonus action, you can unleash your power for up to 1 minute. For your power, Necrotic Shroud makes you a true death god when you combine it with your class features. First, every creature within 10 feet of you that isn't your allies must make a charisma save or become frightened of you until the end of your next turn. While your power is unleashed, once per turn, you can add extra necrotic damage to 1 target you deal damage to that is equal to your proficiency bonus. Generally, this is accompanied by a transformation of some type, but you already look awesome, so do whatever you want. Level 3 Warlocks gain a Pact Boon, and it's time for your Blood Scythe. Pact of the Blade allows you to magically create any melee weapon you wish as an action. You can even store the weapon in an extra dimensional space and summon it back when you need it. You can also use your Hex Warrior feature to bond with this weapon to use your charisma modifier, and you get to ignore the restrictions against two-handed weapons. This means we can grab a weapon that is better suited to be a scythe, like a halberd or glaive. Heads up though, since they are two-handed weapons, you can't cast spells that require your hands when wielding them. For the purpose of the build, I'm sticking with a battle axe, but you can do whatever you want. If you want to use an actual scythe, you're going to need the Warcaster feat, which will allow you to cast spells while wielding it. I want to grab it, but I have to work within the confines of the build, so if you get a chance, grab that. Alright, now let's grab your invocation. Improved pack weapon adds +1 to your packed weapon's attack and damage and makes it your spell casting focus for your warlock spells. And it can now become ranged weapons as well, but doesn't have ammunition. Remember, this is for your warlock spells, not your sorcerer spells, which you will have way more of. Your warlock spell slots are now upgraded to 2nd level. Make sure to look over your spells you're casting with these spell slots to see if they gain bonuses when being upcast. You know, like Cause Fear can now target 2 creatures, or Inflict Wounds now deals more damage. For your new spell, Cloud of Daggers places a whirling buzzsaw within 60 feet of you. This saw takes up a 5-foot cube for 1 minute while you maintain the spell. A creature that starts its turn within the cube or enters the cube must make a dex save or take 4d4 slashing damage. This spell can also be upcasted past level 2 to add 2d4 more damage per level you add. Level 4 Warlocks earn our first ability score improvement. Place this into Charisma for better attacks, damage, spell attack, and DC. Charisma now does a whole lot for you. For your new spell, Hex lets you curse a target with a bonus action that is within 90 feet of you. While you maintain the spell for 1 hour, you will deal an extra 1d6 necrotic damage when you hit them, and you choose 1 skill when you cast the spell. They now have disadvantage on that skill check until the spell ends. Should they die before the spell ends, you can use your bonus action to transfer it to a new target. This can be combined with Hexblade's Curse, but remember they are both bonus actions, so you can't activate them at the same time, and when the target dies, you cannot transfer the Hexblade's Curse, only Hex. Heads up, you're going to be stacking a lot of abilities and dealing a lot of extra damage in this build. Your character level 5 now. Chill Touch, Toll the Dead, and Acid Splash now do 2 damage dice each, and you can now fire Eldritch Blast twice with a single action. Level 5 Warlocks receive another invocation. For this invocation, Thirsting Blade lets you attack twice with a single attack action when using your packed weapon. Your Warlock spells are also upgraded to 3rd level. For your new spell, Fly gives you a flying speed of 60 feet for 10 minutes while you maintain the spell. Level 2 Sorcerers now have Font of Magic. This gives you sorcery points equal to your sorcerer level between long rests. You'll be able to use them more for what we get next level, but for right now you can use them to regain spell slots or burn spell slots to regain points. For your new spell, Magic Missile fires 3 blood darts at a target within 120 feet that auto hit and deal 1d4 plus 1 force damage per blood dart. Level 3 Sorcerers gain Meta Magic. This allows you to alter your spells in different ways by spending sorcery points. For your Meta Magic option, Quicken Spell turns 1 spell with a casting time of 1 action into a bonus action by spending 2 points. This means you can either cast a spell and then a cantrip as a bonus action, or attack with your packed weapon twice and then cast a cantrip as a bonus action. Remember, if you cast a spell, you can only cast a second spell if it is a bonus action and a cantrip. Twin Spell allows you to target up to 2 creatures with a spell that only targets 1 creature for a cost of 1 point per level. You cannot use this with a spell that has an area effect or targets multiple creatures, such as Acid Slash or Magic Missile. You also gain 2nd level spell slots. For your new spell, Spiritual Weapon creates a floating weapon out to 60 feet with a bonus action. This weapon can be anything, like a giant flying buzzsaw. Darkstalkers is such a weird but awesome game. When you cast this spell, you can attack with this weapon, dealing 1d8 plus your charisma and force damage. This lasts for 1 minute, and with a bonus action, you can move the weapon up to 20 feet and attack again. Best part? It's not concentration, so summon the weapon, surround your enemies, and start slicing. Level 4 Sorcerers earn another ability score improvement. Let's cap off Charisma for all the damage you could want. For your new spells, Tasha's Caustic Brew fires a stream of boiling blood in a 30-foot long, 5-foot wide line in a single direction. Each creature in the line must make a dex save or become covered in your blood. That is a weird statement to make. While covered, they take 2d4 acid damage while you maintain the spell for 1 minute. They must use their action, or someone else must use their action to clean the blood off to end the effects. Guidance lets you touch 1 willing creature or yourself and give them 1d4 to add to any skill check they make while you maintain the spell for 1 minute. Level 5 sorcerers receive magical guidance. Now, when you fail a skill check, you can spend 1 sorcery point to reroll the check. You now receive 3rd level spells. For your new spell, Vampiric Touch allows you to swipe at a creature with your nails, still weird, and make a melee spell attack, dealing 3d6 necrotic damage on a hit, and then you regain HP equal to half the damage done. You can maintain this spell for 1 minute and keep using this spell to attack and regain health. Level 6 Divine Soul Sorcerers now have Empowered Healing. When you or an ally within 5 feet of you rolls dice to determine healing, you can spend 1 sorcery point per turn to reroll any of those dice once if you are not incapacitated. For your new spell, Sending lets you communicate with one creature you know regardless of the distance. This message can only be up to 25 words, and if it's across dimensions, there's a 5% chance the message will be lost. Oh yeah, I forgot to say earlier, Jedah is also telepathic. This didn't really seem important as you can control blood and you're a death god, but sure, okay. Your character level 11 now, Chill Touch, Acid Splash, and Toll the Dead deals 3 damage dice each, and Eldritch Blast now fires 3 times with a single action. Level 7 sorcerers gain 4th level spells. For your new spell, Banishment allows you to place an enemy into an extra dimensional space for 1 minute while you maintain this spell, or it can just get rid of them. Targeting a creature within 60 feet, you force a charisma save, and should they fail, they are banished to a small pocket dimension of blood while the spell is active. When the spell ends, they reappear where they are banished from. If they are from another plane other than the one you're currently on, then after 1 minute of being banished, they are returned to their home plane of existence. Level 8 sorcerers earn another ability score improvement. Let's grab a feat. Slasher adds +1 to dex and improves attacks made with slashing weapons. You know, like your blood scythe. When you deal slashing damage with a weapon, you reduce the target speed by 10 feet, and when you score a critical hit with a weapon that deals slashing damage, the target has disadvantage on all attack rolls to the start of your next turn. For your new spell, Death Ward lets you touch a creature or yourself and protect it from death for 8 hours. Before the spell ends, the first time they drop to 0 HP, they drop to 1 HP instead, and the spell ends. If the spell is active and they are targeted by an effect that automatically kills them without taking damage, then this spell stops that, and then the spell ends. Level 9 sorcerers now have 5th level spells. For your new spell, Bigby's Hand creates a large hand of blood for up to 1 minute while you maintain the spell. When casted, the hand appears out to 120 feet, and while the spell is active, you can use your bonus action to command the hand to move and then do something. It can attack, dealing 4d8 force damage, push a creature, grab someone, or give you half cover. There's more to this spell, but I'm giving you the footnote version, as you can only use the giant blood hand to smack people in the game. Level 10 sorcerers receive another meta magic option. For this option, Heightened Spell causes the target of the spell to have disadvantage on a saving throw the spell causes by spending 3 points. For your new spells, Message lets you whisper a message to a creature that you can see within 120 feet that only they can hear. Spirit Shroud saturates you in necrotic energy like a true death god for 1 minute while you maintain the spell. While the spell is active, you can deal an extra 1d8 necrotic damage when you hit with an attack. Any creature that takes damage from this cannot regain HP until the start of your next turn. In addition, any creature of your choice that starts its turn within 10 feet of you has its speed reduced by 10 feet until the start of your next turn. Level 11 sorcerers gain 6th level spells. For your new spell, Heal causes one creature you can see within 60 feet or yourself to regain 70 HP and end effects that are causing blindness, deafness, or any disease. Level 12 sorcerers earn our final ability score improvement. Let's place this into dex to raise your AC, because damn do you need it. This is why I can't take Warcaster. Your character level 17 now. Acid Splash, Toll the Dead, and Chill Touch now do 4 damage dice each, and Eldritch Blast can fire 4 times with a single action. Level 13 sorcerers receive 7th level spells. For your new spell, Plane Shift allows you and up to 8 willing creatures to pass into another plane of existence, like Makai. You can also use this spell as an attack by targeting one unwilling creature and making a spell melee attack. Forcing a charisma save on a hit, they are banished to another plane of existence permanently, or until somehow they figure out how to get back. Level 14 Divine Soul Sorcerers gain Angelic Form. Now, as a bonus action, you can grow your wings and gain a flying speed of 30 feet. These wings stay until you are incapacitated, die, or dismiss them with a bonus action. Our final level is level 15 Sorcerer, and you now have access to 8th level spells. For your final spell, Abby Delzim's Horrid Wilting destroys life that is within a 30-foot cube that you summon out to 150 feet from you. Everything in the cube, including plants and water elementals, must make a con save or take 10d8 necrotic damage. Now that we've hit level 20, let's recap. Your stats are Strength 10, Dex 16, Con 16, Intelligence 12, Wisdom 8, Charisma 20. Your total levels are Warlock 5, Sorcerer 15. Let's dive in. You are a dangerous god of death, which seems like I shouldn't have to state that, but I do. Using an axe as your blood scythe, you're attacking with plus 12 and dealing 1d8 plus 6 magical damage while wielding it single-handedly, and bumping this up to a d10 when you're wielding it with two hands. You can then bump that damage up with extra damage depending on what you're stacking it with. Necrotic Shroud adds plus 6 necrotic damage, Hexblade's Curse adds plus 6, Hex adds 1d6, and Spirit Shroud adds 1d8 necrotic damage. You can attack twice with a single attack action, and you can not only summon an extra weapon, but also a blood hand to attack with you. You can also just claw them to deal anywhere from 3d10 to 9d10 necrotic damage, or deal 3d6 to 7d6 necrotic damage, and then regain HP with that. Then you have your ranged abilities. You can fire a shot upwards of 150 feet, dealing different types of damage, firing multiple shots, force creatures to make saves, and can still stack these with Spirit Shroud and Necrotic Shroud depending on what spell you're casting. You can fly, teleport to different dimensions, and heal yourself. Downside. Biggest downside? Well, you only have around 145 HP taking the average, and you have an AC of 16. You're going to have to be weighing the enemy down with damage because you're going to fall quickly against anyone that can cause more damage than you. You also have a lot of concentration spells, which most spellcasters do, but thankfully you can customize this however you want to fight so you can focus on one instead of having to choose all the time. Finally, your wisdom save is trash, and that's bad because a lot of spells target that. The biggest complaints with this build can easily be fixed if you roll for stats or just use any other system that isn't standard point array. You are a meat grinder. You can stay back and unload from a distance or rush in and blitz your enemies before escaping. So keep the pressure on them and make sure to keep your health up, or else your dream of a better Makai will never happen. Thank you for joining me today. Make sure to like and subscribe to not miss a single new build each week on YouTube and Spotify. Make sure to check out my Patreon, where for just $1 you can help decide next week's new character.